remember the last time we code our MetaMask controller to check if MetaMask installed the chain ID and the network ID. Now that's when we start with the Etherjs provider. The Etherjs is you can use Web3, but I prefer to use Etherjs. Then today we're going to write our APIs to talk with the blockchain. Remember, we have now our address and our task manager. Then here on the Etherjs provider, it will be like the API to communicate with the with the blockchain. Then we'll write a class. On that class, we'll make sure. Let's write the class. It will be the quick one. Etherjs provider. On the Etherjs provider, then we do the constructor. Then we import when we install. Remember, we install Etherjs JS. Then we have to import from Etherjs. Then on the Etherjs, we import Etherjs. Then on the constructor, on our constructor, we have to check the provider. This provider is supposed to be public, so that everyone can use this one. Will be new Etherjs dot providers dot web3 provider. Then because here we know that MetaMask is installed, we can check the window window dot Ethereum. That's why we have to check if our Ethereum is installed. Then here you can say any for network, so that it will pick up the network of the current that you have selected. Then on the Etherjs, you have to do the signers. A signer is a person who will sign like transaction, do the transaction. We need the signer. Then this signer equals to, we have this provider. Then on this provider, you have to get the signers. You get the signer, not the avatar. Sorry, get signer. Then that's what we need for now. If you need other properties, you can go and fetch it from the provider. Then we have to, because we want to talk with the smart contract, we will create a method called getContract. You can name whatever you want. GetContract. On the getContract, what do we need? You need to pass the object with address, which is the smart contract address, and the ABI. Then you return new Etherjs dot then here you call the contract class. Then you pass the address, the ABI, and the signer. That's why we need the signer. Then now you can get any contract with this provider. You can get any contract from any any EVM compatible. But now, because we want to run our own smart contract, we'll create our own API. I will create a, it will be a get, it will be my task. I can call task contract, you can call it, let's say task contract. Then, because it's a get, we have to return what do we need here. Remember, on our smart contract, that's where we'll go back to check what method do we have on our smart contract. Then we'll call those methods here on the, then on the contract we call const contract equals to this dot get contract. Here we have to pass our address and ABI. Where do we get those address? Then we can call, we can import let's say config from it will be current directory, this one. Then here on the contract, remember we have to pass the object, the ABI, which will be equals to the config.abi, and the address will be a config.address. Then we pass those data that we want on the contract. Then here on the return, we go back to our smart contract on the backend, then on the contracts, then on our smart contracts. Here we firstly we need the name of the smart contract. Then here we'll call a method get name. This method will be like arrow function. Then we'll call, because it's supposed to be async, this method will call the contract dot name. You have to invoke it. This name, you don't have to go close it this way. This name is supposed to be the name of your this name, but here it's not a method, but in order to call it, you're supposed to invoke it as a method. This name, if you here you write smart contract name, even here when you call it, it was supposed to be smart contract name. Then what do we want? We also want to check again our methods, then task count to check all the count get all. Then we start with get all, let's say get all this one will async await contract dot the get all. What's the name of your get all method? Do you just come here and copy? If you don't want, you can go and check your ABI, but I don't want to check the ABI, that's why I'm using the smart contract. Then that's it. It will get all the it will get all the, then we need add You can call it a task. Should I call it a task? But we can, because we know it is a task controller, I don't will do add task. It's, let's say, add. I'll just say add because we know we are adding a task. Async. Then on the add task, we need something. We need a task, the string of a task, which is first empty string. Then we have to await our contract. Then the name of our add is add task. Then you copy this one. You come here. You do add task. Then you pass the task. You remember here it's a string of task. If you check here, it's a string. Then you have to pass the correct data. Then we have to do the update and the remove. On the update, what do we need? Remember, on the update you need the index and the status. The index, which is the task index, and the status. Status, it will be like then you have to add the name. I just want to complete this first. It's update status. The method is update status. Then you pass on the update status, you pass index and the status. The other method that we want for now is remove. I don't use delete because delete is a reserved keyword for JavaScript. Then remove, then async. In the remove, we only need the index of the task. Then we await contract dot. Then we check our smart contract. It was delete task by index. We copy the name, then we paste it here. Then we pass the index. Then we just have to export our default of our class. Then we'll call our class on the controllers, on the task controller. Then we'll do it next. Thank you and cheers.